Lagos Housewife here on the healthy lifestyle. And today I will be talking about something that is very important and crucial for us living, eating, cooking healthy. You know what that is? Kitchen gadgets. Yes, very, very important. Let me share a conversation between myself and the Holy Spirit. There was a day I was here cooking and I was using so many of my gadgets. And then the Holy Spirit just asked me, said, why do you think I give you these things? And I said, because I like them. And he smiled. He said, number one, for your efficiency. And number two, for you to be able to teach and help others with it. And I said, oh. And he said, imagine if you had to be doing everything you're doing manually. There will be a limit to the amount of things you can do. You will not be able to cope with everything you have to do if you have to be doing them manually. And that was when I thought of it. Imagine, okay, yesterday I made sandwich for my son. I was able to bake it with the bread maker and make it healthy using my own ingredients, incorporating my things. I would not have been able to do that if I do not have the capability to bake bread at home. Whether you are using a mixer or you are using your hand, you will still have to bake it in the oven. I used the bread maker, it needed and it baked everything for me. You see the convenience of that. When I fry akara, I wake up early in the morning, I fry akara because I have blender that can blend the akara, that can do it. Imagine if I have to wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm looking for where I can blend beans to fry the akara. That's the importance and convenience of kitchen gadgets. So you see, that's why I share a lot with people when I see useful gadgets, when I see gadgets that can be used for different things, like my pancake maker, my sandwich maker. Do you know I've been using them to bake quick snacks for Andrew for school? I will just mix acha flour, mix grating fruits, add nuts and seeds and everything, and I'll put it in the pancake maker or put it in the sandwich maker, the batter. I'll put them inside, cover it. In about 10 minutes, it's done. And I'm able to make it in bulk, and so that during the week, I'll cut slices for him and add to his food. That's the convenience. That's the help kitchen gadgets are to us. That's why technology is a blessing. Technology is a blessing. Take advantage of technology. Now, I know the fact of the matter is not everybody has the financial capability yet to buy many of these kitchen gadgets. I was once in that situation. I've told you about how long it took me before I could save up for one single blender. And it was a cheap blender, but I read up and made sure I got a good one. It took me time. So I want you to realize something. Even if you cannot afford it now, understand life is a process. It's a journey. If you keep doing what you're doing, you will be able to afford it. This is not just cliche, aspire to perspire message. It's the reality. Many of you who know where I started from understand that I'm talking from real life experience. And number two, I have seen God providing ways that boggle the mind. Not only for me, so many people have testified. There was a lady that prayed to God. She needed a freezer. And do you know, about 4 days later, her sister-in-law just called her and said she's sending her a freezer. I've had someone who prayed to God, I do not have a blender. I need a blender for my children, for this and everything. And the next thing, unexpected money just came in from her boss. And it was enough to order and deliver the exact blender she wanted. And she was like, Lagos Housewife, God is amazing. See, let me tell you something about God. He provides for whatever he tells you to do, and you obey. That's why he told the disciples, he said, when I sent you, did you lack anything? They said no. So let me ask you this question. Is it God that is sending you to feed healthy, to feed your family healthy? The answer is yes. Are you doing the best with what you currently have right now? If your answer is yes, relax and watch my God in action. One thing I want you to do immediately you finish watching this video, get a paper and a biro and write out the kitchen gadgets you want. Then lay them before God and say, Father, please provide for me. I have been faithful in using the little I have to feed my children and my family healthy. I need more to be able to do more. So I'm asking you for these things. Ask Him. Then another thing I want you to do. I hope you know the Bible said faith without works is what? Dead. I want you to work on it. What you are going to start doing, start saving. When I tell you, the first blender I ever got was around 18,000 or 18,500. I can't quite remember now. But you know, I saved for like 7 months before I could get that money. But I saved. And God sat back and allowed me to save. Why? Because He was teaching me something and He was also watching my determination. I saved. That blender was not miraculously provided for. It's the way we view miracles. But do you know the ability to save at that point was also from God? So ask God to help you. Start saving little by little, no matter how small. See, they say little drops of water make the mighty ocean. Whatever you want to buy, look at the price. Look at, okay, how much can I be saving? And in how long do I have to save that amount to get it? I have someone who actually did that. She wanted, there was a blender advertised. She wanted it and she was like, I need to be able to save for it. And she approached me and I explained to her, and any small money she gets, she will save it. Any small money she will get, she will save it. And the money was complete. She was able to buy that blender. And this person I'm talking to, telling you about, is not a small person. She's an elderly woman, older than I am. Someone I greet, yes, ma'am. And look at what she did. How much more you can also do it. God provides, but at the same time, you should also understand that He also expects us to be disciplined, to be determined, and to be committed. And it's by doing these things on our own that He will assist us, and the Lord will assist you. Kitchen gadgets are important. And yes, there might be some concerns about certain gadgets or things. Now, let me tell you something the Lord told me, not only about kitchen gadgets, but also about certain foods. He told me something. He said, the things I tell you, the things I show you, they are for you to take action about. He said, but whatever I don't reveal to you, trust me to take care of you. You know, that really comforted me because there was a time I was worrying about things in the market. I was like, everything is unhealthy. And I was so disturbed. How do we shield ourselves? How do we protect ourselves? And the Holy Spirit told me that. He said, you cannot watch over everything concerning yourself. He said, but I can. Your own is to obey me, then leave me to do the rest. And He told me something. Every gadget I give you, He said, I will never give you anything that will hurt you. He said, for my thoughts towards you are of good and not of evil, to give you a future, a hope, and an expected end. And that gave me comfort. There are some things He will tell me to do regarding healthy eating or something, and He will tell me not to share with people. He said, this is not for everybody, this is just personally for you. Now, those are personal dealings. But the things He tells me, He gives me, He tells me, and He allows me to share, that means they are also good for you. Yes. So, there are some concerns about certain kitchen gadgets. I will be addressing them based on research and based on what God has told me. But I can gladly and honestly and 100% tell you that everything you see in my kitchen, they were given to me by God, or they were directed to me by God. And if God gives me, best believe they are good. One final thing I want to share with you. There was a time I wanted to buy an air fryer. The air fryer was so good, so lovely. I saw it online. I said, I must buy this air fryer. And immediately I went to search who was selling it, and I was able to see it on an online shopping site. and I was about to order it, and the Holy Spirit said, no, don't order it. And I was thinking, I say, is it that I finally overstepped my boundary? I have too many gadgets and God is trying to curtail me, say, discipline yourself. And I was thinking, that's why we should not be quick to jump to conclusion. And let me tell you what happened. 4 days later, I was reading in the news that particular air fryer had been recalled massively in Europe because it was exploding and causing fire damage. This is just an example of how God protects us. Now, it wasn't about the air fryer being unhealthy, but it actually had a fault that was causing fire disasters. And when God said, no, do not buy it, I obeyed, even if I didn't understand. And look at it. This just to let you know and comfort you that God is perfectly capable of protecting you. The fact that we are telling you to eat healthy, watch what you eat, does not mean you should be paranoid. Fear is never of God. Anything that will put fear in you is not of God. Paranoia is not from God. You can rest easy in Him that if I do the things He has told me to do, I will trust Him with everything else. And even the ones He told you to do, He's still the one you will trust. So I'll see you next week when I'll start talking about certain kitchen gadgets and how they relate to us living the healthy lifestyle.